starting with the thickness of the tube, the nose cone, which is the nose cone, is this part right here from here to here.
Okay.
It's 100 thousandths gauge. Okay.
100 thousandths.
The body of the tube is 0.95. Okay. These tubes are chambered, which means they have a sealed compartment here. Okay. And then there's another sealed compartment here. And then you have the cap in the back. So if and Hamas is notorious for people running their boats aground or running up on the deal.
Yep.
They'll puncture this or whatever, and the water will stay in this section here, and they will not go into the other part of the tube. So the boat still floats.
Gotcha.
Okay. The other thing that we do, which is really, really cool, so this is a keel strip. And then when we build the nose cone, we pinch it, we weld it, then we add this on top of the weld and run this down, and it runs the entire length of the boat, all the way back. Our competitors some of them don't even offer a keel strip, and they will run a keel strip, if they do have one, they'll run it to here. They won't run the right length of it. What it does, it protects the bottom of the tube. It also lets the boat track safer or straight.
Cut the water easier.
Exactly. You're exactly right. So those are little things that we've always done. This is a splash fin. This is, we extrude our own aluminum, which means if you know anything about extrusion, when the aluminum is in liquid form, almost liquid form, loose form, it goes through an extrusion into a form, so it actually comes out in this design. So the big thing about it, which I will use real quick to show you, is the strength of the tube and the strength of the splash fin. So this is I'm 240 pounds.
Oh shoot, yeah.
That's how good the strength of the tube. This is the reason why we always talk about how well the boat is built.
Gotcha.
Okay, a lot of my competitors, you step on that,
It's falling off.
it's already breaking off.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are little things like that.
Those look to be about 100 thousandths thick too.
Yep. The other thing too is these lifting eyes. They're the way we weld them, the strength of them. You can actually pick up a boat, hang the boat from a lifting eye, and you won't break it. My competitors, like Bennington, some of them say stamp, do not lift.
Yeah.
Because it's the way they weld it, it is the weakness of the part. So we feel that we have a better leg up on how the boat is built. Okay, and then you'll notice there is a cap here, a corner cap. We know from experience that a boater will always come in and smack a dock. It happens even to me when I'm on the water. I've done it. Well, some of my competitors run a single unit that runs the entire length. It's one piece. Well, when you smash it, you got to replace the whole unit. Here, you just undo the 4 screws or 4 bolts, replace the cap, put a new cap on. Done.
That's neat.
Makes it simpler. The mechanics like it. That makes it easier. Okay, so now underneath the boat, you'll see that there's a skin under here. These panels.
Yep.
So the panels run the entire length of the boat. It protects underneath it. So when the boat is on plane and you're getting choppy water, this prevents the waves from hitting the channeling and making the boat jerk.
Gotcha.
So this smooths it out. So when the boat's running fast, the water turbulates through here like a turbine and runs in this channel, and it doesn't go up over the tube or anything like that, so it protects it. It's easy to access by dropping these panels down, especially if you have to get the wiring, things like that. And the way we run our harnesses is the harnesses have expansion plugs on them, so if you need to add something to it, it's already wired for you.
It's kind of like plug and play. Like
Exactly. And our whole boat is plug and play. And we'll get into that as well. I'll take you around the back, but these are U-brackets in the front for the front of the boat. Then we go to a saddle bracket. And the saddle bracket is the key of a Godfrey. And I'll run you to the back of the boat and show you why we do that. So let's go back here. This is just an outer cosmetic. This is a saddle bracket, this piece right here. Godfrey has, well, over the years, guys has patented on it. Nobody else can use this this design, they can make this pad similar, but they don't have the landing pads. See these little landing pads?
Mhm.
That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
They're designed to fit the contour of the tube. It gives us a better way of welding.
Mm-hmm.
So my competitors who can't use this do a butt joint. Come down and then they weld, make their own angle
Mm-hmm.
with the weld. Bottom line is when tubes are on the water and the tubes flex.
Mm-hmm.
And over time those will crack where these will not.
Gotcha.
Everything from the boat, from the deck down, underneath this vinyl floor, everything down has a lifetime warranty.
Oh wow.
Period.
Hmm.
Everything.
Is that a robot weld or hand weld? On the
These are hand weld.
hand weld.
We are going into robotics to speed things up, but the majority of the tubes are hand welded. Yes. So this platform gives you a nice landing pad, a stronger bolt together design, more stable. And then you'll notice, this is one of your bolts here. We bolt, all the deck is down, it's completely bolted with a nylon lock nut. And all our stainless is 3/16 L. Okay, for any stainless steel that's on the boat, like this pleat stainless steel, and it's a 4-bolt tie down. Okay, you'll see on some of my competitors when we go on to doing the comparative analysis, you'll go, huh, look at that, it's only 2.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tendency to overbuild the boats. We find that the boat is a lot safer, more durable, lasts longer, all those things.
Right.
The other thing I'm going to show you is you'll notice back here, this is the fuel pod is right here, but you don't fill it from here. So the fuel pod is down below here. It is 30 gallons.
30 gallons. Yep.
Because this is what we call a standard motor well. Okay, if it was a full triple tube, where the tube comes in and ties into this, it'd be a 45-gallon tank, and if for a 27-inch center tube. And then if it was a 29-inch center tube, it'd be 61 gallons. And what we plan to do is you'll notice on our boats, when you look at a triple tube or a sport tube, you'll notice that tube doesn't stick out the nose of the boat. We bring everything back, because there's a pad under here. We found that by bringing everything back, we gain 3 to 4 miles an hour.
Oh wow.
Okay. So that is a big thing too. And then obviously this is a splash fin, so when water's coming down, it doesn't run up the side of the motor. It keeps from doing that. And it's also a landing pad for the ski bar too. Let's see. Down here on the tube, back of the tube, this is for any electronics or a bilge pump, or let's say you put a high pressure wash down on the boat. The pump goes here, and you wire it in and go through here.
Oh, okay.
And then if you add a fish finder or anything like that, you can put the transducer on this side if you want. That's
Okay.
what this works out really, really well.
Where do you wire it to? I mean,
You go up through here and go to the panels off. You
Okay,
run the wires around. It's easy to drop the panels and get there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. We're one of the few companies that offers the 3/4 tube. Notice that tube
Yeah.
stops 3/4 back.
Yeah.
It's called a sport tube.
That's what I was getting ready. I heard you say that a while ago. I was going to ask you what the sport.
Yeah, sport tube is a 3/4 tube. It is a poor man's triple tube. You got a guy a buyer who's on a budget, really wants a triple tube, and doesn't really care about maximum horsepower.
Right.
Because maximum horsepower on this motor pod is 150. Okay, so he wants the ride of a triple tube, but 150 is good. Okay, and you'll put them in a sport tube.
So the bigger the motor, the more the tube will come.
Well, if you go to bigger horsepower,
Mm-hmm.
you'll put a full tube on here. It'll
Okay.
be all one piece.
And then you get the bigger fuel capacity.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And we offer 2 larger tubes, a 27-inch center, 29-inch center. That's the impact tube.
Okay.
And we do those on everything that's going to take 300 horsepower or more.
Right.
So, and this boat is a 2286. This boat's rated for 250 horse.
Okay.
If you put the full tube under it.
Yeah.
150 the way it sits right now.
Gotcha.
Which works out really, really well. Let's see.
Is this kind of the base model of Godfrey pontoon?
There's actually a level lower.
Is there? Okay.
There's a Sweetwater, we call it Sweetwater Experience Series. And I've got a couple of those. In fact, I think I got 5 of them coming for you. That is limited on interiors. There's really no options for it, but it's a double bimini, co-captain's chair, side bench, and it comes with a 150 with a sport tube, and the boat sells for $49,995
Okay.
on a trailer.
On a trailer. Do y'all make your own trailers too?
No.
No? Okay.
No. These are somebody that Brett came up with.
Oh.
Okay, so when we come to the rail sets, I was talking earlier about the gas fill. A lot of competitors take the cheap route and put a gas fill right in front of the motor in that well. We've never believed it. We do it on a couple of models, but all of our big stuff is this way. And the reason why we do it this way, number one, if you're on a dock and you've been running the motor and the motor's hot and you're putting gas right in front of it, and let's say that the boats it'll get rocking because of the wave action and we're at the dock or whatever, you could be spilling gas, you could do, and a couple of things I'll tell you, my competitors will not divulge this, but if the trim limit switch on the motor goes out, when you're tilting it up, it goes past this limit, you'll knock the neck of the fuel filler off.
Gotcha.
And then they got a real problem.
Yeah.
So we like mounting the fuel on the side. It costs more money to do it. We think it's safer and more effective this way. So that's the reason why we do it the way we do it here. A couple things about we use this as our main body. This is called a corrugated rail skin. It's fluted. See how it's got little ribs in it? Stronger. Okay. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Some of the boats you'll go through and it'll be more like a bass drum.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little stronger. The other thing too is all of our welds, we anodize all of our rails, okay? When we anodize the rails, we anodize the inside of the rail as well as the outside of the rail, so it'll never rust.
Never rust.
Never rust. So in all of our welds are anodized as well, where my competitors, i.e. Tracker, some of the other ones, will do the rails and they'll powder coat it or whatever, and then they weld, and then they spray can the weld. After a year, that weld changes colors, and then you're going to go, why that boat looks funny? And that's the way they do it.
Okay.
So those are little things. You'll also notice that all of our rail sets are sitting above off the deck, because the deck has a slight dome to it, so the water will leak off the side of the boat. If it gets water inside the boat, it has a way of exiting the boat.
Oh, okay.
Works out really, really good. Let's go up in front. We'll walk through the boat side. You guys got a knife?
No.
We like to give you plenty of room to will. So you got plenty of leg room, you got room for your feet. The nice thing about this particular layout is everything's easy to handle. There's pockets for storage, cup holder for the driver. There's a windscreen that goes along here, and then you have your wireless phone charger, which works out really, really well. The Fusion stereo, we use nothing but Fusion on the main series, through water, Monaco, things like that, and you can upgrade. When the bigger boats, we do JL. This system is Bluetooth. You can run all your, stream all your Pandora and all that kind of stuff through it.
Spotify, whatever.
Now, it's a great system. 4 speakers. The nice thing about the dash is easy to get to. All circuit breakers. We use no fuses in our boats.
Oh.
Everything's circuit breakers. Even inside, everything's plug and play. I mean, you want to disconnect. There's a disconnect. You can disconnect the harness and pull the whole thing out.
Oh, okay.
That's how easy it is. We make it. You know what? Being a dealer, and it's frustrating when you have a product and you say, God, it's so hard to work on or whatever. The factory recognizes that, so the engineers put a lot of effort into making sure this is mechanic friendly. If you have to get in to do something, you can get into it, and it makes the ease of use better for the end user as well.
Right.
Power port under here. There's interior lights here, and then obviously we are NMA certified. NMA certified means that the National Marine Association recognizes us to be built to quality standards and all that kind of stuff. There are some competitors that don't.
Mm-hmm.
So this boat is rated for 12 people or 1,735 pounds. So it's rated for 150, which this is a 2286 SPX. So that's what this is. If you there's a changing room compartment there that lifts up. If you move your door a little bit, there you go. That misses your. Yep, there you go. So it hasn't been set up yet, but that is a changing room that will pop up, and they'll have a curtain and everything in it. So
really?
If you want to put a porta potty in there, if you want to upsell them, sell them a porta potty, so you know, or they want to use it for storage or whatever. That works out really, really well as well.
Wow, that's cool.
Your seat, this seat, both swivel, slide, and recline.
Yeah, I just had to pull it up a little bit because I was leaning back so I could take a nap.
Yep. There's a table, single post table that's standard on the boat. That's an option, putting the 2 cup holders of storage on the side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is storage too?
Yep. And down underneath. That's a little pocket.
Yeah, that's a little pocket.
So what we like to do, which is cool, we use metal hinges. A lot of competitors use plastic hinges, but nobody has this. This is a rain gutter. So when you have kids out on the water or whatever, and they come in and sit down with wet bathing suits, the water goes down in here, down here. It ends up in the gutter, and then it goes out. There's these drains go out the boat.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else on it. The Rotocast has a lifetime warranty. The seats, the floor, the components, radio, everything, 10-year warranty.
10-year warranty.
Yep. It is, the nice thing about it is, from Fusion, they give us 1 year. We give you another 9. So that's how that works. The nice thing about this particular model, people love this model because, number one, the whole center section is open.
Yeah.
If you have a dog or whatever, there's room for the dog to move around. And the other thing too is, the nice thing about it, you're not climbing over somebody to get to something.
Yeah.
Which is really, really nice. This boat will have a double bimini.
Over here?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, see the brackets are already on there. Yep. So this will, they'll tie together. This will be full shape, which is really, really nice. And a nice big exit to the gate to the aft deck. Then on this particular boat, this has the 5-step ladder, which is longer than anybody else's. Everybody else uses a 4. We use a 5. This is an older style ladder. We keep using it because it's so damn popular and people like it because you get old geezers like me and can't get up. Yep, that's exactly right. This floor is called Platinum Weave. This is the standard floor on the boat. If you're working with a customer and they don't want anything exorbitant or upscale or whatever, you default to this. We do this in gray, or Platinum Weave in a gray. Then if you're doing a boat with a tan interior, we do a tan version of this, which is really quite nice. Questions so far?
No, I've been asking as we go.
No? We're good? But anyway, that's pretty much 4 speakers, 2 front, 2 in the back. The access visual.
This is set up to if you wanted to add.
Yes.
Speakers,
Yeah. If you look in here, which is this is nice too. We give you a pocket to put everything, and then you can see if you look underneath with the light, there is plugs hanging down, and you just add to it.
Oh, okay.
Everything's just plug and play. This works out really, really well. The contour of the seating is great. Ergonomically, the designers keep things in check, knowing where your shoulders are going to land, where your back's going to land, so you're not sitting awkward. And we'll go through the competitive analysis, show you measurements of what we do and what our competitors do, which will be important for you to see. Let's see. Anyway, the boats come with, these are cup holders, removable cup holders. They slide down, wedge into this, and you can move these anywhere you want.
Cool.
Every boat comes with a couple of them, which is kind of nice. And then single pedestal table. So in the value series and the Sweetwater series, we use a single pedestal cheesy table, like everybody else. But on the Sweetwater Up, not this series, Sweetwater Up, you can upgrade to a 2 pedestal rectangular table that has 4 cup holders and a nice big area for putting a bunch of stuff out, food and stuff out. That's available too if you want to upgrade.
No, I did see on one of ours, on the one that's at the show.
Yeah.
The cup holders that just had the hole there. So those are cup holder or cup holders that were supposed to come with it.
It should be a couple of it.
Well, it's just
Oh,
So these are
no, that's the couple. That is the couple. That's the couple.
Okay, because that one didn't have. They just had the cutout, but it didn't have any hole.
Bring that to me. Yeah. Yeah. Take a picture of it and send it to me. Okay. These are about. Yeah, there's 4 of these. So, what I do as a salesman, take 2 of these, cut them on the shelf in the video. Because you know we're going back in the day of us just being order writers and the pandemic, where people said, "I'll just take it. I'll write your check. I want that one." There was no. You have to learn how to be a salesman again. Is what I'm telling every one of my dealers. We're not order takers anymore. We're going back the way it was in 2019. Well, what my dealers used to do was order 4 of these, take 2 of them on the shelf, because you know the customer's going to want to haggle a little bit. They're going to say, "What are you going to give me? What are you going to throw in the deal? How about a couple of cup holders? Make it Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So I always tell them, you've already paid for them. They already signed to this boat, but it makes
Makes them feel like they got something.
Feel like they get something out of the deal.
Yeah.
Or if you want to upcharge them, charge them an extra $200 or $150. This is the cover. Has a cooler. Comes with a cooler. That slides in right in there.
Oh, okay.
And also, kind of a cool thing is with this, like we have with the other one, we had the ice chest in there. We had put the armrest in there, and it kind of gives you an idea on how much storage you actually have.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true, and I always like to show that. So when you guys are working the show, or working a show, or working a customer, and when you do your presentation, create a story. Okay. Start on the outside, work them around. Okay. Then you bring them up. Do not. The last place you want that customer to go to is that bench. Wait till that's the final part of your presentation. Then you say, "Mr. Smith, have a seat. Let me show you how it's going to feel when you're driving your new boat," or whatever. So what I usually do is I will stand here and bring them up, and I'll just say, "Blah blah blah. This is what we're doing. This is why we do what we do." Then I do the final presentation. Let me show you, sir. Would you come sit down here? And then you come sit down. And I sit here and point things out, and then he feels like he's getting the ownership.
Taking
to it.
over ownership. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's important. That's just being a good salesman all the way around. Okay. This is a competitor. So what I do with dealers for shows is we go through, show what we do to compete with our competitors, why we do what we do. So we usually we do this in a couple places in the past, like Vegas or Atlantic City or whatever. The dealers come in for a couple days and we break down the boats and we spend time doing this, and we talk about a lot of other things going on in the market and how we can make you guys more successful, out here in the field. So I always tell everybody, get a flu shot, especially before a show, because bottom line, if you're not there, you've missed out. Okay, boat buyers have choices. Those are our main competitors: Tracker, Bennington, Avalon, Crest, Barletta, Berkshire, Harris. You've got Bennington, Avalon. You got Tracker, Bennington, Avalon, Crest, Barletta. All of them are here. I don't know if you have Harris here or not.
I haven't seen Harris.
Okay.
There
Is
is?
there a Harris dealer here? They're all here. Who knows the most sells the most. That's the bottom line. We're going to talk about Harris first. Don't get screwed. So, the picture on the left shows how Harris screws their decks down, they're holding a bolt. So you can see the difference. See the screws that go through. Pontoon, those type of screws, they have a tendency to break off or work their way out, and then you start getting divots in the floor. Ours, see how we have and you've seen the samples here. Yeah, they're tapped into the deck, and that's pressure treated plywood that we use, 7 ply, 5/8 inch. Works out really, really well. We've never replaced the floor in 30 years. Okay, and even what Harris says incorrectly about their weld story is incorrect. It's just a line. Harris 4-coat telescoping ladder compared to Godfrey's easy to use 5-step. See how ours goes clip to the floor?
Mm-hmm.
The thing about telescoping, we offer telescoping as an upgrade. Okay, we have 3 ladders actually. For Sweetwater, there's 2. For the bigger boats, there's one that's just super slick. Telescoping, when you're in the water, you're trying to get it out and you're trying to push it up and it doesn't line up great or whatever, it's a pain. This just flips up and you're done.
Yeah.
There's our saddle bracket versus the Harris. See the picture side by side on the left?
Mm-hmm.
See how the landing pad is? Look at Harris's.
Mm-hmm.
So those are little things you just got to remember. When you're talking to a customer, you say, this is how this boat is built. And you can show them the difference. So we use Harris uses plastic hinges all the way around. They break. It's inexpensive for them to use.
Mm-hmm.
They charge a premium for the boat. There's ours with a metal hinge. Big difference.
Big difference.
So Harris has a brand. This is an $80,000 compared to Godfrey's Everlast. They use a single stitch backing stitch, where ours on the right is a full triple stitch.
See that?
Harris's full fuel fill is on the back of the boat, with the neck sticking out on the right.
Mm-hmm.
There's ours on the left. Where would you rather fill up your boat at? It's a little easier when it's on the side, especially if you're at a gas station. Even if it's on the trailer, it's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Here you'd have to step on a step ladder to get to it up on the motor pod. Harrisfield does not have required EPA pollution protection like we do. That's ours on the left. So, and how we test, that is a machine at the plant. Every boat is tested while it's going down the line. We have stations like this where we actually can take we have a machine actually also too that lights up the entire boat. We plug it in like it's a motor. It acts like it's a motor, and everything lights up. So we can test all of our connections, all this up before the boat heads out.
Hmm.
There's what a Godfrey looks like. I was showing you for the fuel for the rear pod or rear well. That's our HCH canopy bracket on the left. It's sort of like a clamp with both with a clamp with the way it fingers over like that, compared to Harris's. That's a Harris on the right.
Plastic.
That would be metal.
Yeah.
That would be metal, but they don't. But see, the thing is, the boat comes loose. It loses its grip because RC has a grip on the tops and the bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
Splash fins. That is we're holding our splash fin against theirs on the left. Theirs is at the top of the tube. It's just a cheaper way of building it.
Mm-hmm.
And see how much curve we put into ours? We want that water to roll over and not run up the side of the tube. There, the water's going clear up to the side of the tube.
Yeah, slowing you down.
And it's slowing you down.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Harris next to an aqua patio. Size matters. Look at the size of ours on the right compared to the one on the left. I mean, on picture left, that's a Harris. Look how much taller ours is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
How much taller is on the right.
Mm-hmm.
They're both sitting on the floor. I always put these in impact. Impact is the big 29-inch center tube that we do, which is phenomenal. Okay, we're talking about Barletta. So, and this is a great, you think this chain will stop a child from falling overboard at the back of the boat? That's how Barletta does it. That's how we do it. Look at the gating. You have one of these boats coming. This is an SFL.
Oh.
Single flip lounge. See how she's laying in the back?
That
lounger flips over the other way, and then you've got seating to sit forward if you want.
Okay.
It is here.
It's here?
Yeah, it's at the show.
Okay.
Oh.
That is a
When did
very popular boat.
When did that one get here?
That's the first one we opened.
Oh, the first one you opened. Okay. It wasn't that color though.
No.
You notice that on a Sweetwater, which is our base series, you can dress these things up as wild as you can. So notice that that has black framing. The framing's all anodized in black with a red, with a black cherry
Mm-hmm.
side. Okay,
Side.
you can do it in silver, and you can also add a graphics package to it to really jazz it up. Barletta's unusable cleat. It is a little flip-up cleat, two bolts, and it's if you have any rope that's larger than standard or whatever, you can't use the cleat.
Mm-hmm.
There is Barletta's top compared to our top.
Wow. Hmm.
Barletta uses a plastic C hinge. We use a metal hinge. Barletta uses a single stitch. We use a triple stitch. We always say, and that's in the corners. We always beef them up in the corners.
Mm-hmm. That's where they tear first.
Yep. Barletta is all their fuel is done in the well like Harris. Yeah, I like that. Fuel and cup holders are inches apart. That's a cup holder on the left. The fuel center.
Oh,
fuel
God.
is the fuel in the middle. Cup holders right next to it.
So if you got an open beer there, you're probably gonna get some fumes in your beer.
Well,
Yeah.
unless some drunk filling it up and filling up the beer can, filling up the cup holder instead of the. Not a smart design.
Not a smart design.
There's ours. We always like to go back, revert. This is why we do what we do. Vapor friendly, economically. I mean, and we dealers or manufacturers do this center well fuel fill because it's cheaper.
Mhm.
Period. There is a so I'm going to show you this is an Acapelli or a sampan ladder. The ladder on the left is a telescoping Barletta ladder.
Mm-hmm.
That's ours. Notice ours is shaped like an S.
Mm-hmm.
It's for geezers like me that got bad knees or I'm
Mhm.
overweight and I can't pull up myself, and that you feel like you're walking up a set of stairs. When we came out of that, nobody else can touch this. Well, that talks about a great ride, and it all talks about the impact drive. Our impact drive sits with a 29-inch tube. It's sit higher. The higher the boat, the drier the ride. Now we're talking about Bennington. So you guys know that Bennington is a sister company of Godfrey. Bennington started in '96. They were Godfrey employees that broke away and started Bennington.
Mm.
Okay. Bennington's very proud of their pricing. They can't use the components that we use. We do share some things with them. They built their decks, but their saddle brackets are different than ours. Things like that. But the thing is between with Bennington being the marketing that Bennington did, they ran the price up on their boats quite a bit.
I know they're proud of them here.
Oh, I know. So this is what to give you an idea what Bennington matches up to us. The SBX that you have here, we just got on, that goes against your SV series. Sweetwater is the SX series. Monaco's goes against the L, Acapelli, R's, Sampans, and Key. So you guys know how to match up the models. If you're working a customer and he says, "Well, I'm looking at the Bennington Qs," let me show you our Sampan. And then you know exactly where to go. Godfrey advantages over Bennington. Saddle brackets. Benningtons are much smaller and shorter. Explain to the customer how important this is, that the added weight of today's higher horsepower outboards and added height gives you a drier ride. Spray fins. Theirs are smaller and not extruded. You can standard ours without having them bend, which I demonstrated.
Mm-hmm.
Canopy quick releases. They use a cheap plastic that breaks. Ours is a metal that clips in. That works really, really well. Tables, everybody uses a single post, but our Acapelli, Sampans, and Monacos, we use a double post. They won't wobble. Seat cushions are much narrower on a Bennington and not as high as our backrests. Bennington notes. They have smaller canopy tops. Our Monacos, Acapelli, Sampans are 12 foot long. Theirs are 10. Seating, the Monaco Acapelli Sampan are wider and higher. They're designed the way to keep the height down, so they can ship 4 per load on a tractor trailer. Okay. That's their spray fin on the left.
Mhm.
There's ours on the right. There's a 4-step. Ours is a 5-step. Those are just little things.
Mm-hmm.
Little things. Trying to get that. That is by far the hardest ladder to pull out. Where ours is already out automatically, and it flips up and it fits the contour
The handrails.
of the handrest. Yep, handrails. You bet. So there's a single post table, not a table. There's the Godfrey double post table. That is our teak one. That's a double post as well. And you can upgrade a Sweetwater and put a double post in if you want. Little things like that sell.
Mm-hmm.
All right, at Bennington, that's their seats. Is 17 inches from the front of the leg roll back to the backrest. Ours is 21.5. So have them lay them down and check it out. You'll see a difference. Wider seats, people will roll off sideways using the bed like a bed. Same thing with the stitching. We use it Everlast triple stitching. They don't. There's Bennington's on the left. So they use a molded seat base like we do, but they don't wrap it. There isn't any vinyl. We do. We even offer what we call, and you'll see on the color boards, we offer what we call wicker wrap. It looks like wicker.
Mm-hmm.
You want to dress it out. It looks really, really good. Godfrey seats are soft seat backs are simply higher and more comfortable. That's a given. We use 3 different layers of foam, densities of foam in the seats. There's plastic canopy hardware. Everything we use is extruded canopy brackets or metal. Like I say, we use 12-foot canopies on most of our boats.
Is it a one-piece canopy or two?
One piece.
One piece.
Well, one piece is 12 feet.
Yeah.
The Sweetwaters are 10 foot. The Aqua Patios, Monacos are all 12s. And then obviously we have a double bimini. So we offer electric biminis. If you don't order a double bimini, it will default automatically to electric bimini, power bimini, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
If you can also get a deduct on the order and just go a single manual if you want. But if you order a double bimini, they're both manual. Okay. So just to show you on their bar boat, you can see how cheesy their bar boats are on the left compared to ours on the right. Look at the pedestals on ours compared to theirs. So this is a Bennington on down at the bottom right. See, it's one person. You can put 2 people on ours. It's just we go deeper than they do, and our boats sit up higher than theirs. So that's at a Bennington looking at a Godfrey behind it and see how much taller it is.
Mm-hmm.
High seat backs are important. People like to feel like they're inside the boat. Sun Tracker. There is Sun Tracker's saddle brackets on the left. Notice there's no way to weld it or really, look at ours on the right with the feet landing pads. Sun Tracker and Regency. So we're going to talk about them with their furniture and what they do. That's Sun Tracker. Tracker's 2-bolt cleat. Ours is a full bolt, stainless steel L. They use the Zimac plated cleats, where ours is a full stainless steel. There's Sun Tracker's fuel fill in the back. And there's ours. I always keep throwing that out on everything. Our competitors don't do what we do. We build a better boat, flat out. Anodized welds. There is a tracker weld. Look at the tracker weld.
It looks like I welded it. And I can't weld.
That's how their welds look. Only the nose cone on a tracker has the keel protection. Ours runs the entire length of the boat. See, that's the tracker right there. See how it stops before it runs down the body of the boat, of the tube? Tracker uses a 4-inch lifting strake on the side. We use a 6-inch. We get 33% more lift out of the boat. The lifting strake is that triangle piece on the side of the tube at the bottom. That's what gets the boat on top of the water. Avalon and Tahoe. Same thing with the furniture. We do a better job in the furniture business than they do. Period. Every pontoon, every Godfrey is NMI certified, 10, 5, and 5 warranty, NMA certified.
Oh, it's 5 on the carpet and 5 on, what was the other one?
Go back.
Well, it was 10 on the boat, 5 on the vinyl, okay.
Yeah.
And 5 on the carpet,
Yep.
okay.
So Avalon Tahoe have no NMA certifications at all.
What? Hey, look at that. You hear that?
So this shows you how sunrise goes back, or basically I should have fixed this slide. So this is where sunrise is going to be X series, the Experience series versus the Eagle. Sweetwater main series, Sweetwater Premium is now Monaco, which is against the Catalina. This is an older slide. I got to fix that. What Avalon talks about is the front of the boat brochures, and as a luxury pontoon, Matrix 50 vinyl, aluminum frame seat bases, one piece 100,000 gauge, 100 gauge nose cone, things like that. What they don't tell the customer, their boats are not as luxurious as ours. The aluminum all their framing in the seats are all aluminum tubing, square tubing. And then they put a piece of carpet at the bottom. Number one, I've had people catch their hand in there and a piece of aluminum, a shard of a piece of aluminum sticking out, and they say that they don't mildew or whatever. Yeah, the carpet mildews over time if they leave something wet in there. It's all hype. Their tubes are not chambered. Their load-in models are all screwed decks, not bolted decks. So there's an Avalon on the right with the aluminum framing compared to ours. They have to put a cross brace in there in order to make the seat so the seat won't collapse into the well. Look at the difference between the cleats. They call this a luxury pontoon with a small cleat with so you have these smaller ropes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the brackets. We use a better bracket system than they do. Plastic connectors. We use, obviously you can see how big theirs are compared to ours, canopy wise. Yeah, so Godfrey has no exterior rail skin pop rivets, yet Yamaha has lots of pop rivets in the skins of the side of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing's in place. We don't need to do that because we pressure fit our skins and with they butt up against tape, and then we put another bracing behind it so it doesn't pop out. There's a Godfrey Chase Lounge. Look at the Avalon. Look at the difference. Your head's gonna go like this when you lay back. Four-step ladder compared to our 5-step. We talk about that. Non-chamber tube. You guys know the difference on these tubes? There are 3 ways to do a tube. Tracker uses a half-moon bracket. The tubes are not bulkheaded like a Godfrey. Half moon. Okay? You got G3 across the street or near it. If it has a plug in the bottom of the tube, it's foam filled. And the thing is, and that gives the support of the tube with the foam in there. But if you rip the tube, you got to take all the foam out, open up the tube, take all the foam out, reseal the tube, and re-inject foam back in. It's 3 times the amount, 3 times the money that's compared to ours. Screw decks on 90% of their models. And ours on the left is a bolt, T-bolt. Judge for yourself. Nice cleats, high quality navigation. Those are cheesy ass navigation lights. Ours are built into the rail frame. Plastic fittings for the door latches. The wire isn't wrapped for protection, for chafing. And look at our lifting eye compared to theirs. Ours is so much beefier. We use all of ours are plug and play, and that's a big thing. You put that little thing in there, and you show them the little insulation in the plug, saying this is layered insulation. You're not going to have a electrical issue because of the way this thing's protected. Transom mount fuel fill. Ours is not. Our extruded loom nose cone. This is a one piece. No keel strip. Splash fin. Ours on the left. Look at the ones on the right. Look at the welds. All the welds they have to have. How thick the weld is just to hold it in place. That is Avalon's lifting strake on the left compared to ours. Ours looks a little beefier, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the Buffett boats. He's in everything. So that gives you an idea. Sweetwater Base, Monaco, Acapatio, Sampan. Their dealers are trained to sell about wood-free decking. We used to do composite decks, and it was a disaster because with the flexibility of the tubes and stuff like that, the decks would crack. The deck it was a disaster. We went from plywood. This was 25 years ago. We went from plywood to composite, back to plywood. Like I say, we haven't replaced a deck in 25, 30 years. Destruction is their weakness. They push what they call fiberglass consoles, factory installed mooring, covers, colored rail panels. Pressurized pontoons are more rigid, float higher, but serious. In 2020 they came out with a new gimmick, and that was the composite deck, and that's a composite deck cutaway. It's heavier, the boats are slower. You cannot screw into that material. It doesn't hold. Everything has to be bolted. Non-chamber tube, 4-inch lifting straight, flimsy rub rails, small thin cross channels, non-anodized welds, narrow saddle brackets, flimsy spray fins. You can go on and go through every single one. So there's theirs on the left. Look at ours. Look how thick it is. Look how thick theirs is. There's our keel strip on the left. Look at their keel strip on the right. So Brookshire and South Bay, they use a non-anodized weld, non-fluted railskin. We like the fluted railskins. Now we offer smooth railskins as well as an accent. Or the upper edge boats, if you really want that look and you're up against one of their boats and they say, well, that railskin's nice and smooth, we'll give it to you. We'll do it too. So that's to show you what the underwater drain system looks like on theirs compared to ours on the right, on the left. See, ours is a fully sealed system. There are humidity, ambiance, pressure valves on the top of the tube. So the pressure is 4 to 6 pounds in a tube, and it will adjust with the humidity automatically. Just showing you the differences. I'm missing a picture, believe it or not. There is a South Bay canopy. Look how small it is compared to ours. 12-footer. The fuel system on a Buffett boat, $53,000. You get the fuel system on the back of by the transom bars is on the side of the boat. I keep pushing that, and I keep pushing that, but it's true. Bracket's the same way. They use a cheesier bracket. Look at the helm for a South Bay boat on the left. Look at the helm on a Acapulco.
A lot more classy.
And that shows the storage container with the rotocast bases. How function? Yeah, that's a good question. How function is that corner seat? Look at how small the backrest is and how big the seat cushion is. It can be uncomfortable as hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. That's ours. That's ours. Sitting up so much higher than the rail. There's our saddle bracket, or the lifting strakes. That's theirs. There's ours on the left. A lot beefier. 25-inch shoes, 3 lifting strakes, shorter saddles, wetter and slower. That's exactly right. That's ours next to a South Bay. A lot bigger boat. Sylvan, that's boat brokers as well. Starcraft, basically they sell basically Sun Chaser and Starcraft are built side by side in the plant. Okay, they're exactly the same boat. They put a Starcraft sticker on one and a Sun Chaser on the other. But they have limited models and they're built exactly the same way. And they're same components. There's no difference. They're sticking a different name on it. Screw decks compared. There's a screw deck on a Sylvan. There's a Starcraft Sylvan helm compared to a Godfrey helm. To me, that looks like a snowmobile windshield.
Mm-hmm.
Just cheesy. I'm sorry. See why? And the way they do their seats is kind of weird. How they do their seats. See that seat tapers in to the corner instead of being flat. And it seems like it's not fun. I believe in function over fashion. It's a one-person seat. This is exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Z-Mac cleats. They're cheap. That is the world's smallest pop-up cleat compared to ours. 6-inch. See how their tube is? It's got a triangle to it, so it doesn't get the lift as our tubes with our lifting strakes. When we do pontoon shootouts, we always beat a South Bay. Our boats are just faster. In fact, the last time we had a major shootout, we had 3 boats in the top 10. So this is an analogy of somebody who bought their RPT tube. The good side silver replaced both tubes last fall, but the left tube is leaking again. This is just stuff that we picked up off the internet. Higher dryer, faster. So what we do, we put a T on the right side. We put a T slot. See that slot on right here? That's a slot. When we bolt the rail frame down, we put the T-bolt in that slot, and then we can drill down. So it acts as a pressure to pull that down to the floor. They screw theirs down. See how they these Phillips screws?
They bend it. Yep.
That's the Crest saddle bracket. Crest screws or decks. We use a carriage bolt right there. Always like, there's my fat ass sitting there. Sorry. Showing how to. I'm big for that. I just show how strong our boats are. And you see the crest on the left.
Mm-hmm.
2-inch strake, 6-inch strake on ours, on the bottom of the tubes. So you guys got plenty of ammunition to go after these guys and show them why we build better. Look at the crest. You can see the gap. See how they weld it? And there's a gap light in between it.
Mm-hmm.
3-inch rub rail. Ours is a 4-inch rub rail. It's heavy duty. See how I talked about that one-piece corner casting, the one-piece corner deal? There's our corner cap. Look at their corner cap.